Hello girls and guys, welcome back to DSF. My name is Logan and today we are at the Mercedes-Benz KL Fashion Week, which will be running throughout the whole weekend. So today, tomorrow and Sunday, where you can come over and test drive any of these new Mercedes-Benz EV models that you have had your eye on for a while, including the newest variant of the flagship EV SUV of the brand, the Mercedes-Benz EQS SUV. Now, this is just a new variant, so it's not exactly a brand new car, but it does have a lot of new features that you are sure to enjoy. So this would be the EQS 450, which means it has much better range, more than 671 km according to the WLTP cycle. But that should definitely help with your range anxiety if you've had the previous variants before. What else is new? Let's start up front. You get a new upgraded version of the Mercedes-Benz Digital Light, which has a bunch of cooler features, a bunch of follow me home things and so on and so forth. Grille, as you can see, more or less the same. Bumper design, as you can see, more or less the same. There are more changes on the inside. So let's just walk around the outside first, and then let's walk you through what else is new on the inside as well. Starting with new rim design over off to the side, and you can see these wheels are actually quite big. So if you do plan to take this car off-roading, there's a good chance you can do very well with it. Of course, you've got your EQS badging here, just to remind you that this is the flagship, the top dog of the EQS range, the EQ range. Sorry, you've got your ADAS features right here as well, your 360 cam, blind spot monitoring, nice little rail here to help you get in and out in case the car is a bit too high for you. You've got your classic Mercedes-Benz pop-out handles that when they're in, you can just run your fingers along there and they'll pop out. You can open the door. Your fuel cap over here, well, technically not fuel cap, charging cap. And then in the rear, you'll notice these nice long LED strip runs the length of the car. And of course, your boot as well, which you can open from here. So just, you press in upwards and it opens. Now, do note that the logo that you saw earlier, which we used to open this massive boot, again, it's still a 7-seater, by the way. So this massive boot, you can see here with a, well, yeah, there is going to be a false floor. Hiding your tonneau cover of all things, which means this is good. You can put your tonneau cover when you need all 7 seats up, put it back up when you only need 5 seats. And this, well, with all 7 seats up, you can see that the space is not really that great. But you can sort of guess, once the seats are down, the rear seats, then you'll have ample space to play with. And as I mentioned earlier, this logo also doubles as your reverse camera. So when you go in reverse, it pops out and it's your reversing camera. Let's take a look inside. Inside the all-new Mercedes-Benz EQS 450, you'll notice that the differences are, again, very minimal. There's not really much change. You still get your triple screen setup right here with a digital display for your front passenger. You've got your central infotainment screen that houses your AC controls and things like that. Again, I would prefer having buttons, like, because you see all this usable space in the center here, right? This wood finish, it's quite nice. It's very premium looking. You do have USB ports and cup holders that you can move for more storage space. Unfortunately, you know, having all your aircon controls housed inside the infotainment is, to me, a detriment, because I would prefer having a button. Because when you're driving, you're facing forward. You don't want to be looking down and playing with these things. Now, this is intuitive and simple enough because it's like very big and very obvious right here. But some brands, they tend to hide these inside a layer of menus, and that's when it gets really dangerous for me. But that's besides the point. You've still got your same ambient lighting, your aircon vents here, your nice big digital driver display right here, which has all the necessary information. Of course, being a Mercedes-Benz, your driving indicator is here on the signal stalk. You've got a nice little round steering wheel here with all your buttons here for your controls. You've got more controls here, your fingerprint sensor, EQ, parking brake, mute, power, volume controls. See, it wouldn't have been a stretch to try and put some aircon controls here, would it? Right. But I guess Mercedes-Benz. You've got a nice big cubby space in here with more USB ports. But the highlight is, again, look at the central infotainment screen. Now it comes with an upgraded MBUX system. So instead of the regular MBUX Mercedes-Benz user experience that you're used to, this MBUX now has AI, which means it can be assisted learning. It can learn your patterns, your behaviors, how you like to keep your seat, how you like to keep the temperature, your driving habits, Do you just get in the car and straight away drive? Do you give the batteries a minute to warm up? It can learn everything about you, and that is a really nifty thing. So for 625, 888 ringgit, I think the addition of this AI is well worth it. Although, well, depending on your yearly salary, you might agree or disagree. But hey, at least you get a nice, big, panoramic, almost full-length sunroof to complement all 7 seats, which can be a 5-seater when you don't need it. And we'll take you in the back in a second to show you these boss seat kind of TV switches at the back and show you how usable the third row is as well. So just keep watching. We'll show you that in a second. Okay, so the ambient light continues right here in the back seat. Got your door, your seat controls again on the door, typical Mercedes-Benz fashion. And you've got your window controls up. These are child locked. And of course, an aircon vent right here for the second row passengers as well, so that you can also stay cool. And like I promised, you have this nice boss screen right here. So while my chauffeur up front is driving me, I can be meddling with this to play with the comfort settings, to play with the ambient light. You see, I can change that. Okay, we got Venice pink, right? What if I change it to monochrome, energy shine? Look at that. Takes a second. All right. I can play with seat climate control. That's nice. You got seat heating, so on and so forth. I can also play with the radio, the media controls, so he doesn't have to be disturbed while driving. And of course, you can just pull this forward to make it a 4-seater. You got more space here, wireless charging as well. You've got a tablet here, which they of course didn't include, but you can obviously spec on, and this becomes a nice armrest. And now, to close off the video, let's take you to the third row, see how usable those seats are. Third row of the Mercedes-Benz EQS 450. Not only do you get extended range, I feel like the back seats are slightly more extended than before. This could just be my mind playing tricks on me, because obviously Mercedes-Benz said they did not mess with the dimensions one bit. But as you can see, in with the second row seats all the way back, it's actually not too bad back here. Like, I can do a short trip, and keep in mind, I'm about 173, somewhere there. So if I can sit comfortably here in the middle row and in the front row and still have decent usable space for short trips back here, this is truly one of the better 7-seater options in the market right now. The only drawback to me is that it's an EV, and thus, range anxiety is always going to be a problem, because, I have a very heavy right foot. So I tend to keep my foot planted towards the floor when I drive, which is very bad for the battery. But obviously, if you're a much less spirited driver and you know how to follow the speed limit all the time and you're not really in a rush ever, this car, perfect 7-seater for you if you can afford it. So once again, for 625,888 ringgit, what do you think of the all-new Mercedes-Benz EQS 450 4MATIC here at Mercedes-Benz KL Fashion Week 2024?